Good morning! Welcome back to ShowBitch's Nether regions. I am, of course, your host ShowBitch, and here we go, shoulder deep, groping around the dark vaults for you, seeking those hidden gems that you might have missed amongst the repeats, the tribe, because of poor promotion, or you're just plain busy doing something else, maybe. Or maybe you've just been catching up on all the latest brilliant shows that are out there. Well, I must start off by apologising for being so late. Yes, it's been quite a while since we put out a show, but that's because we've had a lot of personal issues, family problems, and thankfully they're now done, dusted, sorted with, and in one case literally dusted. But I won't get into that. Today we are going to be covering the awesome show that is Farscape. Yes, Farscape. The brilliant show that was created by the son of Jim Henson. Yep, it was done kind of as a show reel to show what he can truly bring to the screens. And he did a wonderful, fantastic, amazing job in my opinion. And, well, let's start off by saying when it was released. It was 1999 and it had a good long run till 2003. Yep, it was a brilliant show, it really was. It was spectacular CGI when it used CGI, the puppetry was amazing, and I've got to admit, of all the puppetry characters throughout history, my favourite has to be by far from Farscape, and it's Donar Rigel the 16th. He was arrogant, he was selfish, he was greedy, and every time he got nervous and broke wind, instead of methane, he released helium, which obviously is gonna be hilariously funny. Anyway, the show's about... Actually, I'm not going to say what the show's about just yet, because we've got a special guest star who is going to tell you all about the show. But some of the main characters in it are Erin's son, played by Claudia Black. She was a peacekeeper that ended up leaving the peacekeeper forces and joining this ragtag group of criminals, essentially. We've got John Crichton, the one human, the Earthling, who he starts off the show being quite traditional, but as it goes along, because he's exposed to all these different aliens, different races, certain types of insanity kind of develops in his mind. And if you watch any interview with Ben Browder, who plays John Crichton, watch the interviews from season 1, and he gives you bog standard, well, we did this, we did that, it was great fun working on the show. And then as it goes along towards the back end of its run, even in the interviews with Ben himself, that psychosis kind of plays, and it comes across in the interview, and it's just brilliant, it's fantastic. Next up, we have Cardago, who is played by Anthony Simcoe. Cardago is pretty good. He's a warrior type character, and every time he bleeds, you've literally got to beat him where the wound is, just pummel it, just thud and thud, and turn it from a black viscous liquid, which is quite toxic, into a clear running stream, to prevent him getting, well, the human equivalent of septicemia, I guess. Next up we've got Stark. Stark wasn't in every episode. He was an interesting character. Not one of my favourites, but he was a favourite of our guest host today. Yep, he was, and he'll be described later on. He was played wonderfully and amazingly by the actor Paul Goddard. And Donna Rigel, by the way, was voiced by Jonathan Hardy. Yep. The other one we're going to cover is Pauzo Tarzan. She's, actually, let's go over to our guest star, our star guest host for the episode, and that is none other than Virginia Hay, who plays Pauzo Tarzan. I was lucky enough to meet her at Wakefield Comic Con earlier on this year, and she's a wonderful, amazing person. So let's hear about Farscape in her own words. We're here with Virginia Hay of Farscape and Mad Max and many other wonderful movies. And as we're going to be covering Farscape within ShowBitch's Nether regions, can you describe Farscape?
Well, it's a sci-fi show developed by the Jim Henson Company. Brian Henson is the creative genius behind it. Jim Henson passed away, unfortunately, and left the Jim Henson Company legacy to his son. And Brian Henson was very young at the time and keen to really show the world the next generation of the Jim Henson Company. So he invented Farscape kind of like a resume as his showreel, if you like. So he produced it so that it was the best production that he could do, the most incredible creatures. Jim Henson Company Creature Shop, of course, is famous all over the world for exquisite creatures, really extraordinary animatronic creatures, and extraordinary makeup, beautiful costuming, a little bit of special effects. Special effects at the time, it wasn't that long ago, but there was less of a budget in those days for special effects. These days special effects are very cheap because you can get them, I don't know, digital, is that right? You do digital special effects, but back in the day it was a little bit, even 10 years ago, it was a little bit more expensive to make them. So, but it's a sci-fi set in the uncharted territories, in a fictitious region of the universe, and it centers around a living ship. She's a bio ship carrying prisoners, and I'm one of the prisoners. I play an alien, a lovely alien priest who's 800 years old from planet Delvia, and she's a political assassin. And there's various other aliens, obviously all aliens, and Noah's from on this prison ship, who have all committed dastardly crimes. And suddenly this Earthling gets stuck in a wormhole from NASA. Earthling from NASA gets stuck in a wormhole and gets sucked up by this living ship called Moya. And that's where it begins. And then it's a fantastic show that went on for quite a few years. All about this Earthling's experience living in the world of aliens, and everyone getting used to him and him getting used to us, and we break free of prison and off we go into the wild blue yonder as a load of absolute lunatic criminal aliens with one Earthling who's completely flabbergasted and lost, like what the hell. So we become this dysfunctional family, existing in outer space, and it's hilarious, it's serious, it's quirky, it's downright odd, and it's not, you may imagine being Jim Henson that it's for tiny children, but oh no, it's not. It's for adults, it's challenging, thoughtful, it's brilliant. Definitely there's more people enjoying it now and coming on board now than there ever was before. So every week I meet new fans of Farscape. So I thoroughly encourage you, if you've never seen Farscape, to give it a go. Well worth it.
And how would you describe your own character?
She's a political assassin, and she was thrown into jail for murdering an evil dictator. and she was thrown into jail by what's called the peacekeepers, who were the evil dictator's army. And she was chucked into jail forever. But she was a scientist, as well as being, super spy and political assassin, like a bit of James Bond, but blue alien. She just happened to be also a brilliant scientist and a doctor. And while she was in prison, we presume that, we know that she also, sorry, I was distracted by windows being open. It's very hot today, so I think, windows, look.
It is indeed, yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that. So we presume that while she was in prison, she found her God, and the Delvians, she's a Delvian from Delvia, are very spiritual as well. They're peace-loving. She's the only Delvian that was able to access violence in her. Any violence on the planet leads to death. No Delvian is able to experience violence. It literally kills them. Their eyes go red and they die. But she's the only Delvian on the planet that's able to experience violence and live. So this was something of great agony for her to try and deal with. So she found God and she became a priest as well. So she's this delicious mix of priest, scientist, doctor, and political assassin. So it's a joy to play a role that's that complex. It's an amazing character.
And that's Pao Zan, if memory serves. Yes.
Perfect.
What was it like for the makeup as well? How long was the procedure to put the makeup on?
I was going to say, be more specific, because I'm such a logical person to pinpoint what you want to know. As you imagine, it would be, you can see that it's quite complex. And it took about, there's another picture as well, sorry. You can see just a little bit more in this one.
See if we can actually. There we go.
And there's another picture as well that shows just a slightly different angle.
And also, of course, the Delvian language by the side.
Oh yes, a little bit. Well, actually, that's Moya language, and you can see a few more images up there, just so you have and the nice little cartoon at the top right is interesting.
Such beautiful contacts as well.
Yes, the contact lenses were amazing. They're handmade filming. Yeah, so the makeup process was about 3.5. 4 hours, about 3.5 on average every day, and 1 hour to take it off at night.
That's not too bad, Dave. Just an hour at the end. And I heard you talking earlier about problems with the makeup specifically for yourself.
Yeah, I usually don't go into that on camera because it's kind of depressing to get into, and I want people to really enjoy the character and to love her and not to ever think while they're watching it, oh gosh, the makeup was harming her body. That's, in person I sometimes tell people if they want to know, but if anything is going to live forever on the internet, I want people to know what an amazing character she was, how hard I worked, to make her as beautiful and complex as she was. And so, the side effect was that the makeup was very damaging. Because it's Australia, the unions, at the time the unions weren't used to that sort of prosthetic makeup. They didn't realise that was makeup for TV. It's perfectly, I beg your pardon, for film. That makeup is perfectly safe and legal to be used on film, for film work, which is anything 3 months, 6 months. But really, it shouldn't have been used in a long-term television show where you're wearing it 16 hours a day, every day for years. You are going to be damaged. But besides that, I just want people to know how gorgeous she was. That's the least of their worries. That's something for me to worry about, not for you to worry about.
And of course, other than Zan, who was your favourite character on the show?
That's like asking someone who their favourite child is. If someone's been in the series for a very, very long time, you can't ask that question because it has no answer. Because you love each one individually But if I was forced to choose, let's say for what reason, for emotional reasons, I would say Stark, who actually was Zan's lover.
Very good answer there. And losing track now.
That's all right.
And
He was a beautiful character, and they resonated with each other on a more of a sort of spiritual level. And his job, he's an alien from another planet, and his job was to help people cross over. And he wears a mask, and his job is half of his face is masked. And when people are dying, he takes the mask off and they're blasted with this transport system that transports them from where they are into the next realm. And then once they're gone, he puts the mask on. I mean, he's a really incredible character. It's a very beautiful story.
And you mentioned earlier the animatronics.
Yeah.
With them being so lifelike and realistic, did you ever find yourself talking to them when the cameras weren't rolling?
No. I think someone just visiting the set might be tempted to do that, but when you're working with them all the time, you have a very logical sense of what they are, which is their animatronic characters that come to life when you're acting, but as soon as the director says cut, they're switched off. So they're not... Do you know what I mean? They're not activated. If they were left on all the time, you might be tempted, and if they were able to speak, but they're not real, so no.
And of course today here at Wakefield Comic Con, as well as the signing, you're here selling some soaps that you've handcrafted yourself, I believe.
I've handcrafted, yes, and there's the information there. And I've been making perfumes for so many years, it's probably 30, 40 years. When I was little, it all started, Mum used to, instead of putting plastic ducks and plastic toys into the bathwater when I was a toddler, she'd put flower heads from the garden, because we lived in Sydney, Australia, where it's hot and there's flowers all year round. So she'd just put whatever flowers were blooming in the garden and she'd put them in the bathwater for me to play with, but also she would teach me to distract me, teach me how to make a garland of flowers. And that's why my company now is called White Flower Lei. A lei is a Hawaiian garland of flowers, and it just reminds me of Mum, because a lot of the flowers that we had in the garden were plumeria, which I think in this country you called frangipani. And the frangipani are very easy to make a garland out of. You just split the bottom of the flower, you push another flower through, then you split the bottom of that one, you push another one through, and so forth until you make a necklace of flowers. And that necklace of plumeria or frangipani is called a Hawaiian lei in Hawaii. So that's why I named the company that. But so she would distract me at bath time, as I said, instead of with plastic toys, with real flowers. And the flowers would, the oil, the natural perfume oils from the flowers would go into the bathwater. And so I would be sitting in the world's most naturally beautiful perfume. And it was just very gentle. There would be a few flowers, and so my skin would smell beautiful. That's not why Mum did it. She did it to distract me. But the thing is that I was spoiled to death in that as a toddler I got used to beautiful natural perfume, working with natural oils, and not working with, but experiencing natural oils. And so, of course, when I was 16 and wanted to wear a perfume, there's no way I would buy some rubbish, fly spray smelling stuff from a shop. So I was making perfumes from probably about 15, actually. I was making them. And so now I don't have an investor or anything like that, so it's not a big exercise like a big supermodels, that's fully funded by millions and millions of pounds put into the business. So it's just my personal love, my personal hobby, and instead of carting around perfumes to the conventions, it's much easier for me to make the little soaps.
Yeah.
And they're glycerin, they're beautiful, and they're all natural. And I just love it. It's a way of spreading some love and, you know, and giving people an opportunity to experience gorgeous perfumes that they may not have already experienced. And I handmade them all myself and sell them at shows. Yeah. Hi, how are you? Can we just pause for a minute? If you want to know where you can get my gorgeous soaps, then you can come to a convention, a Comic-Con, anywhere in the US, in the UK, and also doing some shows in the US. And on my website, Virginia Hay, you have the spelling there, Virginia Hay. So if you go to virginiahay.com,
Right down there at the bottom.
down there, yeah. I have an appearance page, so come and see me. Come and see me, and hopefully I'll bring some soaps with me if you're interested in perfumed products. Then, and also lots of cool conversation and pictures available. But here's where, have a look, Mr. Camera. Have a look at the website address where you can get them online as well.
There you go.
And they're all handmade. And everything handmade by me alone. It's very unusual in this day and age because most soaps are mass produced. You buy them in the store and you know they're made by the hundreds of thousands, but each one of these is just made one by one by me. Sorry?
Yep. Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You're welcome. Pleasure to talk to you. See you, everybody.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
As you can see, she's wonderful, amazing person, absolutely brilliant. It was an absolute pleasure to meet her in person and to see that she's such a warm, kind and loving person, and so much like her character of Zahn. It's unbelievable. Even the little inflections, she'd say hello dear, and absolutely brilliant. As you saw, she does have certain merchandise available. Her handcrafted soaps are absolutely brilliant and fantastic. The smells, I've got to admit, Whitfield Comic Con was a good few months back now, and I've not actually used the soap because it was handcrafted by her and it smells so lovely. I just have it by the side of my bed and I just have a good old smell before I go to sleep, and it's such a sweet aromatic smell that it relaxes me and makes me feel so much better. Anyway, there you go. There's Farscape. A brilliant show, as if you've seen it before, I'm sure you'll agree. If you've not seen it before, as Virginia herself has said, and as I'm saying it right now, go watch it. Please do, because it's absolutely brilliant. And then, once you're done watching Farscape, you want to watch the follow-on made-for-TV movie, Peacekeeper Wars, which is also pretty damn good. Anyway, that's all for me for now. I will be back next week, every Thursday. That's the new schedule. Now we're back, we're getting back on track, we're getting things sorted. So please be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know what you think and what you think we should do next. What other shows do you recommend? Let me know. Be sure to click subscribe, share it to everybody, share it to your friends, your family, your mum, your gran. Hell, one show we're also going to be covering is Lost Girl, and one of the stars of Lost Girl, her cat has a Twitter. And if her cat has a Twitter, then you can share it to your cat as well. And your dog. I just share it. We have social media, so Facebook, Twitter. Be sure to share it on there as well. Which of course is via Stoffel Presents. So there you go. We've also got a Patreon. So if you feel like donating £1, a penny, to help us improve our sets, to help improve the lighting, feel free to do so. It'd be muchly appreciated. Anyway, that is all for now. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. which I won't actually see you because this is a camera and your other side. But anyway, see you all next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And remember, click like, share, subscribe. Have a good day.